By the way, this show was a freebie, and
A freebie?
yeah, it was a freebie. This show was filmed at Center Stage in Atlanta on December 7th, 1993. Nearly a month later, it's going to air January 1st. 750 fans packed the place. They called it a sellout, but nobody paid for tickets. It was all free. Speaking of free, we've got an opportunity here to talk about you standing next to two bona fide legends. I would go so far as to say we got three legends there from left to right. It's Mean Gene Okerlund, Jesse the Body Ventura, and yourself. What'd you make of this trio right here, Tony?
This is one of those things where you kind of pinch yourself, honestly, and you realize that you're standing next to the greatest stick man ever, Gene Okerlund, and maybe the greatest color man ever in Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
Yeah. I watched Saturday night's main event. I watched the open of it until Jesse came out. And it is Jesse is back in the WWE. The Body is back. When he said that a couple of times, and I went click. I turned it. I just wanted to see him return. I
would encourage you go watch the main event. He says, "Oh, by the way, how about this package here?" Whereas this is the original open for Starrcade 93, just running through the history of Ric Flair, and you see all these childhood photos.
Yeah.
And, I thought they positioned that main event to where it felt almost like Rocky IV, where Rocky has to kiss his family goodbye and fly to Russia to fight this mean, nasty giant who killed his best friend, Apollo Creed. That's sort of the way they positioned Flair and Vader. And to this day, you and I, and even Cody, we still hold that whole limousine ride sequence with Mean Gene and Ric Flair in such high regard. I was trying to explain that to Megan the other day, and she remembers being in the locker room area post match, but had no recollection of the stuff at the house, which tells me that it was filmed the day ahead or a few days ahead. But
sure,
she had never seen the whole limousine thing, so I said, "Hey, we'll watch that at some point." But she was at the show in the backstage area, so it's not like she actually saw the package or any of that. But
right.
Why do you think that whole limousine bit resonates so much with people like me and you and even Cody?
I think it's because of what Flair had meant to the business coming up to that time and how special it was to be in Charlotte in his hometown and how well Gene handled the whole thing. And it was kind of like, it was a little bit different than a normal Ric Flair promo that you would see on TBS, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of behind the scenes type off the cuff stuff that you don't see anywhere. So that's why I made it very, very, very good. Then, of course, on this show, we show pictures of Ric Flair in the past, right? Which are very, very good pictures. And I was just wondering, as we're looking through all those pictures of Ric Flair, what age he became the knucklehead that he is today.
What's funny is I managed to stop by AEW last week for Dynamite. Of course, you knew I was coming, so you didn't show up. Well, that's right. You were serving your suspension, your paid suspension.
Right. Paid suspension is Lois's husband.
Which we've been talking about off air.
Yes, we have.
But I was having a conversation with someone, and I can't remember. It may have actually been your son, Matt.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah.
But
did he say Dad's ready to jump off the roof of the house head first? Did he say that?
No,
okay.
He didn't.
Go ahead.
But we talked about a lot of things, as you could imagine.
Yeah.
But somehow the Nature Boy came up, as he tends to do.
Yeah.
And I said something like, "Well, we're in his home state." And they were like, "What?" And I go, Yeah. He's a Tennessee kid." And they're like, "No, he's from Minnesota." I go, "No, he was raised in Minnesota. But before he was Richard Morgan Fleer, he was born here in Tennessee as Fred Phillips." And they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a black market baby. And they were like, "You're making this up. That's the thing about you. I can't tell if you're bullshitting." I go, No, that's all real." But I mean, what a crazy out of a movie story his whole life has been, isn't it?
Found in a box with all the litter of dogs that we were talking about, and of course the girls at Motley Zoo took the dogs, and I guess a doctor and his wife in Minnesota took young Fred, or what was his real name?
Fred Phillips.
Fred Phillips.
So next time you're at a Ric Flair meet and greet or autograph session, you want a really rare deal, get one of his rookie cards. Get one of those All-Stars from 1982 or some shit. David Peck's listening somewhere.
Yeah.
And get that rascal to sign that shit, Fred Phillips. I bet nobody listening has a Fred Phillips autograph from Ric Flair. I wonder if Rick would even do that.
Does Rick even know that's his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a conversation about it years ago where his brother, his
Mel?
real life brother, tried to
Mel
connect
Phillips?
with him and wanted to meet him.
Okay.
And he was like, nah, no thanks.
All right.
Speaking of no thanks, we got 3 bona fide legends in the ring right here and one on the outside. That's Bill Dundee running around as motherfucking Jeeves. And then we got son of Jody Hamilton, Mr. Kenny Powers himself. Nick Patrick is our referee.
Yeah.
Terry Taylor is in the ring right now doing his best Ric Flair impression. And a very young, dapper. It's crazy to watch old Regal stuff because Regal is like a modern Arn Anderson, or maybe not even all that modern, but in the same vein as JJ and Arn, like Regal always looked the same age to me.
Yeah, he did. Like kind of like JJ, right?
I'm just saying, like right here, Regal's in his 20s, but you'd be like, he's 42.
Sure.
No, he's like 25 or some shit. And you're like, 40 something.
Right.
Meanwhile, I saw Shelton Benjamin in real life and I'm like 30.
Yeah.
32.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy. Is he a He-Man or what? My God. He and Bobby Lashley both. If I could just get their names straight.
Nicest guys ever.
Yeah, we got some great guys backstage. We really, really do. And I do need to say this without going into in depth about it, because I really don't like talking about the current stuff that much. I mean, this is what happened when, not what happened now.
Right. That's exactly right.
Right. How about Jeff Jarrett being confronted by MJF? Huh?
Man, it was so cool. I got to tell you, I was in the building and it was cool to see MJF work in person. I don't like him. I think he's a son of a bitch. But there was a moment where there was like a lull in the crowd and it got quiet and he knew exactly what to say to get them all to turn. And I was like, wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then a few minutes later, Jeff made some sort of mention of, I've been champ 12 times. It's been a long time since you've been champ. I know you've won it before, but when was the last time? Because around these parts, we got a name for a guy like you. One hit wonder. And man, that crowd got with it. They were chanting one hit wonder even when the show was in a commercial. Like nothing's happening and they were still going with it. And I was just like, holy shit, man. You never know what's going to work, but it's not a surprise to me that, oh, you mean if you just give MJF and Jeff Jarrett a segment, people will react? Well, they did.
I liked it a lot, man. I'm just happy for Jeff.
Oh, how could you not be? Just enjoying a real renaissance right now. And I, for one, can't wait to see one of my best friends just destroy one of the stars of the new Happy Gilmore. Like that'll be fun when I'm watching with my friends and family and be like, hey, my buddy beat that guy up real bad.
Yeah, beat him up
real bad. It was awesome.